This DJ's so funky, man.
Activate.
Welcome to the Real Double Dose channel. This is your host Lex, coming to you straight from the heart, where the talk is real and the vibe is always live. I hope you're all feeling great today and prosperous, because here, serving a slice of everyday life is what RDDC is all about. For any questions, feedback, or show requests, please email our support at realdoubledosechannel@yandex.com. That's realdoubledosechannel@yandex.com. Also, RDDC is at Blogspot too, so that's realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. That's realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. And if you want to be notified of any of our special giveaways or our offers, fill me in and just sign me up. I mean, that's all you have to do in the subject box, and we will get back to you. We look forward to hear from you, and leave any comments and likes. Any questions that you would like to have answered, we will be happy to address them. Thank you for tuning in with a spark to help ignite the hearts and the souls of the world. This blog has food for thought segments and a lot of information that could help us all. And it's something that will fuel, food for the spirit. Also, we have a grand giveaway coming up where there's going to be a free vacation giving away, along with plenty of other accessories in our soon-to-be Facebook and open store apparel. So, stop on in and win yourself some free stuff for tuning in. And even listen to the show for hints on how to get the grand giveaway that's coming up. We also have a special guest. He is aspiring to be the co-host, but right now he's a special guest. His name is Chris, and I did some talking with him the other day, and didn't sound too bad. Let's see if RDC is ready for that as well. But today, everyone, it's going to be about. It is about negligence to a certain point, but it's about, you owe you, we owe us, I owe me, and giving ourselves everything that we have ever hoped for, and being able to assess the things that we're not necessarily giving ourselves. When it comes down to everything, our weeks and our days are full of so much mischief and concepts and ideas and problematic issues that seem to work themselves out. But every day, is a day to hope for. Live for today and hope for tomorrow. I'm in beautiful Minnesota, and today is called Tornado Alley and Thunderstorm Day. So you might hear some thundering in the back, or some screams, or some lightning from me, because I get a little shooken up, but I'm just keeping it real. So I wanted to just touch base on this. Had a lot of questions coming in from people from Fort Myers, Washington, Arkansas, Mississippi, New York, you name it, all around the area. And some from my friends over in Turkey. They had some people that inquired about the show too. I want to thank you for leaving email support. A lot more people have comfortability with email support than leaving a comment. But those who do, we're still appreciating you no matter what. But the time that we take within ourselves is the time that we need to give to ourselves in order to give others. I've heard so many things about people not being able to achieve the things in the time in which they set forth, or not being able to have done something, and they're looking at it 15 years later like, why didn't I do this very thing that I wanted to do so bad? There goes a thunderstorm right there. So I just want to throw that in there. But we look at them as maybe our growth was stunted by some things, or maybe we didn't get a chance to have the time that we needed for those things, but we always make time for others, and the other things that we do. There could be 15 things that we could do, but we decide to watch a movie, which nothing is wrong with that. But if we expect more from our hopes and our dreams and our goals, personal negligence is more than just not giving ourselves the vacation that we dreamed of, or being able to say, hey, we didn't get a chance to go watch that show or go to that movie or go out with that person, which it still is probable. It's just the point of the things that we hope to do, whether it be being a great housewife or being a great dad or spending time with the children or fixing that car that you wanted to do and drive around the block, or maybe going on that mile that you wanted to run. I mean, it comes down to all of those things. And the greatest regrets is that I hear, and for myself, is I should have, I could have, but I didn't. And I don't think that's something that we should live with every single waking day when we wake up, is to regret everything. And then we slack off on the things that we regret because we look at it like, oh, we already missed the biggest thing that we wanted, so everything else comes second. But no, as long as you have air, as long as we have air in our lungs and we're breathing here on this earth, there's nothing in the world that can stop us from doing what we do. There's, amputees, there's people with all kinds of backgrounds, abuse, addiction, anything, and they're striving to be the greatest of what they know they can achieve. And when we look at all the chaos going on and all the beauty, just as well as balance now, we can get depressed. I get depressed a lot. Like, well, what's the point? There's a war going on over here, hungry children over here. Can't seem to get where I want to go no matter how I'm going. Am I going in circles? Should I stop? Should I pause? And then it comes down to I'm using those things as a debilitating force, as an excuse to myself on why I shouldn't do it or why I couldn't do it, or if I do it, this is what's going to happen. You owe you and I owe me. We owe us. We owe ourselves more to be and set forth in the things we're supposed to be. Maybe it's stopping at a random gas station and maybe you find someone that needs help, putting in the tire rod, or maybe you find someone who just lost $1 bill and just needs to call home to get a ride. Maybe you're the defining line to help someone else out in their life. I'm not saying that our whole journey is to just be there at some mishap, someone happening. I'm saying that our journey is to journey with others and be the guiding factors of why we're here, and maybe align ourselves to them as well, unknowingly or willingly. So many things can come into account for it. And I just think it's more like, what gives us that chance in ourselves to say no? Like, you have to fail your way to any success, and that's just not of material means. I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day. He was having some down in the dumps problems. He was getting real depressed, and he said, well, I just tried this and I tried that. And, it's usually encouraging, but, I just, maybe I'll try it later. And I said, well, you've been putting this off for a while now. It might as well be years. When is it going to come? He said, later. I said, later never comes. Later will never come, because later is our now when we're in it. So all the things that I want to push forward, there's some days I just want to lay down and just relax and just chill back. And I'm like, you know what? Look, Lex, if you don't get this right now, if you don't do it right now, what are you putting off for tomorrow, the next week? Whose life are you impacting off of your reason of why you should not do something? And some of us are like, well, we're here to live our own lives. Yes, we are. But we have no idea what our own lives entail completely. We could relax and have a mojito. We could just chill back and have a beer. We could just go see a game, whatever it might be. Maybe it is. But at the same time, there's a bigger reason as to why. There's a bigger reason as to why our little seeds made it to that egg and grew in that womb. There's a reason to why we took that first breath of life and we're here right now, today, in this moment. There's a reason to why we're here, period. No such thing as a coincidence. Some might beg to differ. But when it comes and boils down to, is everything that we want is obtainable, and everything that we strive for is desiring us. At the same time, we're always desiring what is desiring us. And that's what it comes down to, the negligence that we place upon our lives is the fact that we don't believe that we owe ourselves enough. We believe, who are we? What are we supposed to do? How can we have such a great thing? Maybe we're meant to work 50 hours a week. Maybe we're meant to have problems with our teenagers. Maybe we are, and maybe we aren't. I mean, there's always a balance to everything. For every problem, there's a solution. For every solution, there is a problem. But there's something out there to balance it all. What it comes down to is, what I'm saying is, I owe myself more. You owe yourself more. Even if it's going to get, a $5 sandwich and you really want the $20 meal. Maybe you can't. Maybe you figure the word "I can't" fits into your vocabulary to say, well, I know I could get it, but this $15 extra could go to such and such, and it could. But it just comes down to, are you shortchanging yourself? Am I shortchanging myself off of the fear of what is awaiting us that is greatness? Are we shortchanging the factor that we don't want to see ourselves beyond what society or, quote, the world has structured us in, or we allowed ourselves to be into? A paradigm is a multitude of habits that have been habitually formed within ours and our DNA and our forming and our parents. And, we don't know of these things. When we say but and what ifs and I can'ts and I don't have and I don't know, that comes to things we've heard and we've saturated in our being, and it's gotten complacent in us. But if, the discipline I set in myself may work, and it might not work, but I put myself to wake up every morning and do what I have to do. And it gets very difficult at times, because laying under the covers and just laying on the pillow and just kind of disappearing in my own visualization is better. But I know action has a purpose, and that's the purpose. Another individual I spoke to down in Pennsylvania, a little while back, he had said, I really want to open up a restaurant, and an Italian restaurant. And I remember I had asked him, how you feel about it? He said, I'm very passionate about it. I really want it with everything in me. It's going to bring me out of poverty. It's going to give me a whole nother life, whole nother level. And as soon as when I started asking him anything about the menu or the customer service or the discounts or the building rent or a mobile truck, he collapsed. He got completely discombobulated. He got very upset that I even asked those questions almost. And he said, well, I don't want to talk about all that. I just want to talk about the restaurant. And I thought for a second, I don't want to pop his bubble of visualization if that's what you see. But if all you can see is the restaurant, not even the name of the restaurant, let alone what's on the menu, then you already have a probable cause to understand that those things will never come as you hope for, because you're already setting yourself up for failure before you even thought about anything to do with success. It doesn't come down to just having the logistics of it and learning every bad thing so your pessimism will outdo your optimism. But what it comes down to is having a floor plan. It might not go the steps that you have laid out, but guaranteed, if you have those steps put forth and you're taking one step at a time to achieve them or walk upon it, it will happen. You have to see that. I mean, you can see a car, but what kind of car? What color car? What does it smell like? What does it feel like? How does it drive? How many doors? And I used to think, man, there's so much detail. When I see a car, I see a car. But once you have a clear description of what that car is, or cars, whatever it might be, or how you feel, not just material, or how you feel hugging that person or spending time with your family, or how do you feel gardening and making the flowers grow? How do you feel about going grocery shopping and picking up some items that you've wanted to eat meals with? It doesn't matter what it is. It's the whole point of neglecting ourselves to not owe ourselves enough is always the problem that will be stipulated in anything that we do of a fraction of a doubt of any manner that we live. It comes down to, I owe myself. You owe you. You owe you more. You deserve more. Don't look at it as, oh, I'm not the right size. I'm not the right color. I'm not the right height. I don't have the best background. My parents did this. I had this. Well, guess what? I'm a victim of many. I could go on and on about my childhood and up. But let alone, I'm still here. I'm still strong. Those things, every weakness will make us strong. And every strength will always bring a weakness. It's always a balance. And we can choose to be a victim and have those things keep us down in our circumstances. And we could choose to neglect ourselves, whether it be giving ourselves the personal pampering and love that we need. Because honestly, if everything's not working out in our lives, it has to start at the root. The root comes to the spiritual matter of what we are existing of. It comes from the Creator. It comes from the Great Spirit. It comes from God. It comes from the source of all things. No matter what label you want to put on it, it still exists in the ether. It still exists out there, period. No matter how we define it or how we align it. When we give ourselves what we are due, our due season comes. We cannot ask and call upon a thing that we wish and so desire for, but yet we are not wishing that within ourselves. We're not hoping for it. We're not seeing it. Faith is a substance of things unseen, but yet hoped for. So this is a message to all of us deeply within the core of who we are. Let's not neglect the things and put them off for tomorrow, because tomorrow could have been today, and we don't know if tomorrow will come to us anyway. But if every tomorrow does come to us, as long as we're still breathing, make the best out of it. Make a ritual to where we'll give ourselves 10 or 15 minutes and expand that to the next week's 30 minutes and 45. Give it a chance. Give it a failing try. Because every failure, every no has a yes and a succeeding perpetual motion. That's why I see it. So if failing your way to any success in life, no matter what grade, what level, what obtainability it is, it's your dream, it's your hope, it's your future in which you live in right now. So I speak to you and myself and all those out there who will hear this message and take it within themselves for all that it's worth, because you do owe you, and I owe myself, and we owe us. We owe it to the next person down the street, to our children, to our family. We owe it because we are all one source. We are all one. We're so disconnected that we don't believe that we are. But if we really open our eyes, we realize that we are all one. Everything is connected, intricately connected. And we can choose to be so disconnected that we don't see the connection, or be so connected that we're beyond connectivity. This is all our hearts will say for today. But hopefully our guest or slash could be co-host Chris will come on here and get some questions answered from some of the questions that came into email support. I hope this message brought you something great, as it did me, and I thought of all your hearts along with myself. Again, this is your host Lex, coming to you straight from the heart. I want you to understand that we have a whole load of things coming on realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, and we are always welcome to anyone who is welcoming their hearts and their ears to hear the message and just work on themselves. Tune in for any kind of clues that we're going to be having for the vacation giveaway, and hopefully we'll have our Facebook page open soon. We do have a Google Plus right now. That's more of a just seeing some cool stuff that we're looking on there. We're kind of more of a floaty social media than anything. Some people go hard. Right now we're just relaxing at home. So, and the sense of social media. So, again, this is your host Lex, RDDC, Real Double Dose Channel. Get a hold of us at realdoubledosechannel@yandex.com. That's Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com. Also at realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Sign up for some giveaways, and hopefully our new store and some apparel that'll be in there too. We'll send the links. We look forward to always hearing from you, and thank you for tuning in and giving us your hearts. As always, stay blessed, and only you.